Hello everyone that is seeing this video. Today we are going to talk and learn about complex sentences, specifically in this 19th century book called Alice Through the Looking Glass. For the ones that not know this fiction book, it relates the adventures of Alice, a little girl who entered through a looking glass at her house, which transported her to another weird and inverted world, where she gets to know different characters as the Red Queen, Tweedledee, and Tweedledum, among others. Being that said, what are complex sentences? We have different types of sentences we can use when we try to communicate with each other, and one of them is this one. For you to know a little bit more about the topic context of the sentence, I added fragments of the book above the slides. The first sentence is, "Oh Kitty, how nice it would be if we could only get through into Looking Glass House." This, as we can see, has an independent clause. Being the independent clause, how nice it would be, and the dependent, if we could only get through into Looking Glass House. Also, the subordinator is the subordinating conjunction if. Besides, its subject is the pronoun it, and its predicate is will be if we could only get through into the looking window house. Because the main verb, is will be. Now, what type of clause is between the three types that we already say? Exactly, a noun clause, because it stands for a noun. Knowing that, we have to identify four things: its structure, function, context, and main use. The structure is given by the subordinator. As here it is if, the structure is an if whether clause. Then we see the conjugated verb will be, and we said will be what? And that tells us that its function is a direct object. Also, this is a clause that is after a transitive verb of thinking, which is its context. And finally, its main use is an statement. The second sentence, "I declare it's marked out just like a large chessboard," has an independent clause, which is "it's marked out just like a large chessboard," and a dependent clause, which is "I declare." However, where is the subordinator? Is it really a complex sentence? It is a complex sentence, because even though you can't see it, it is there. Only that it is invisible, because in this noun clause, the relative pronoun can be omitted. Also, this invisible that tells us that its structure is a that clause. To know the function, we have to identify the subject and predicate, which subject is I, and the predicate is declare. It's marked out just like a large chessboard, since the main verb is declare. So, we know that the function is of direct object, because we think we declare what. And the context is after a transitive verb of speaking. And main use is a statement because this says something. You don't know how to manage looking glass cake. That is other complex sentence with you as the subject and don't know how to manage looking glass cakes as the predicate. Don't know will be the conjugated verb. And if we think don't know what, then we already know that this is a function of a direct object. Since this is a noun class and the structure will be a WH class since how belongs to WH types of classes. Our first sentence is I'll tell you how I came to think of it. This complete sentence has how I came to think of it as its noun clause, while the subject is I'll tell you or will tell you is the main verb. So the predicate is will tell you how I came to think of it. The structure of this noun class will be a WH class because of how, which is the subordinator. And the function will be a direct object. The context is after a transitive verb, since tell is a transitive verb, which can be used as the question tell what and to whom. So it gives us two answers. And this is an statement. Its main use is an statement because it isn't a question and it isn't reporting anything. Our fifth sentence is she spoke to the Red Queen, whose answer was a little wide of mark. She is the pronoun which we know that is the subject, and spoke is the main conjugated verb, so the predicate will be spoke to the Red Queen, whose answer was a little wide of mark. We know that this is a relative clause. Yes, now we are seeing relative clause because this is giving extra information. And the subordinator is a relative pronoun which is antecedent Red Queen. This is also a non-defining class because this information isn't essential, but it is there, and we can put it between commas. Our sixth sentence is the knight looked down proudly at his helmet, which hung from the saddle. We know that the knight is the subject, and look down is our conjugated verb. So our predicate is looked down proudly at his helmet, which hung from the saddle. We can see that which is a subordinator. In this case, it is a relative pronoun, which antecedent is helmet. We also know that it is a defining class because it is telling us essential information. It could be any helmet, but it is saying that it is the one which hung from the saddle. Our last sentence is there wasn't a ticket office where I came from. We know that there is our subject and wasn't is our conjugated verb. So our predicate is wasn't a ticket office where I came from. We also can see where, which is a subordinator. In this case, it is a relative adverb, which is anteceded by ticket office. So our relative clause is where I came from. This is a defining clause because it is giving essential information. Because if the sentence was there wasn't a ticket office, we will be like, where wasn't a ticket office? So then it tells us that is from where it came from, where the person came from. So it is essential for the one that doesn't know where is this place. As a conclusion, complex sentences are very complex, but we just have to analyze and understand better. We have different types of clauses and different types of subordinators, which we always find in English, but we don't actually know what it is, and now we have to know it. And we also realize that these complex sentences, which we actually see everywhere when we read or speak English, and it is a good thing to know and analyze. So, thank you so much for listening to this video. I hope it helped us, you and me. And that's it for today. Thank you.